In the golden light of day, King Arion and Queen Solara ruled their kingdom with grace and wisdom. Their subjects adored them, for under their reign, the land was rich, the rivers bountiful, and peace stretched across the hills. But what no one knew, what no one dared to even imagine, was that when the moon rose, the royal couple's smiles vanished. Under the cloak of night, they crept from their grand palace, their human forms melting away like smoke. Arion grew black wings, vast and terrible, his body cloaked in shadow. Solara's voice turned to a haunting wail, her hands lengthening into talons of silver flame. Together, they stalked the sleeping villages, their forms seen only in glimpses, a claw through the window, wings against the moon, whispers in the dark. For years, the people whispered about the creatures of the night. They spoke of monsters, of forbidden magic roaming the land. Yet no one ever found the source. Then came Kale, a boy of restless spirit, who applied for work as a gardener within the palace. The king and queen, unsuspecting, allowed him into their grounds. But Kale was no ordinary boy. His instincts were sharp, and though the royals greeted him with warm smiles, something deep within him stirred unease. One night, after drinking and laughing with friends in the village, Kale returned to the palace long past midnight. As he neared the great gates, he froze. There, moving silently across the courtyard, were the king and queen themselves. Gone were their regal robes. They crept in silence, glancing over their shoulders like thieves. Curiosity overpowered Kale's fear, and he followed. In the woods beyond the palace walls, the truth revealed itself. He watched in horror as their bodies twisted and warped, the king's shadowed wings unfurling into the night sky, the queen's talons slicing through the air as her eyes burned white. The boy's breath caught in his throat. The monsters the kingdom feared were their very rulers. By dawn, Kale's heart raged with conflict. Yet when the sun broke, he confronted them. "Why hide this from your people?" he demanded. King Arion's face, tired and sorrowful, held no malice. "Because they would not understand. If you reveal us, Kale, you doom them all. The creatures you fear, the horrors of the night, we are the ones who fight them. What you call havoc is war. We bleed so they may sleep in peace." But Kale, blinded by fear, did not believe him. He went to the council, his words dripping with fire. He exposed the king and queen for what they were, and the people cried out in rage. Magic was forbidden, monsters had no throne. The once beloved rulers were dragged from their palace and thrown in chains. On the day of their execution, the kingdom gathered in silence. Arion shouted to the crowd until his voice was raw. "You make a mistake. When we are gone, you will know the truth. You will know despair." The queen wept, not for herself, but for her people. The blades fell. The rulers were no more. That very night, the skies split open. The barriers that had held the dark creatures at bay collapsed, and horrors poured into the land. Beasts of shadow, serpents of flame, eyes that gleamed from the forests. Everything that had once been held back came rushing forth. Villages burned, children were stolen from their beds, and the rivers ran black. The people cried out for their king and queen, but their pleas echoed into emptiness. And so, the kingdom learned the truth too late. They had slain their protectors, mistaking them for the very monsters they fought. Their nights grew longer, their days filled with sorrow, and regret became their eternal companion.